Jess Walpole, and I am the Chief Technology Officer. Fortress Security Risk Management Services. We provide security services for primarily mid to small size businesses. So internally, prior to being with Fortress, I don't think I had quite the breadth and understanding of what all N Central could do for me as a client. I had leveraged it really for more of the patching aspect across all of my devices. And it allowed me to have the visibility of not only the patching of, where it stood from a current standpoint, but doing all the retro patching and then also cleaning up all of my third-party patching and the web piece. The thing I wasn't aware of at that time was it was also going to give me the visibility and understanding the versions of Microsoft that I was on. And I could then manage the feature sets, and I could manage when I wanted to release ourselves in the organization on new versions. It also gave me the visibility to ensure that I was cleaning up the devices by, forcing reboots. So those things were all the pieces that on the outside I had visibility to, and I was like, okay, this is great. This really helps me then manage my fleet and reduce what my internal IT teams were having to focus their energy on, and allowed them to be more strategic and more aligned with the business initiatives that we were trying to do. As a client, as now coming on this side, and working as a solution provider and knowing what all is really available from N Central, now I can look at it and say, oh, I see there's asset management, and I see that there's a component on the front, the pieces to support risk profiling. And the more composite view of just in general understanding our clients and being able to understand what they're facing and how I can help them manage their fleets of inventory, I think that's where the real value starts getting into play. As a security provider, then I can help them understand the risk profiles associated with it. So I'm constantly having the discussion internally about understanding the configuration management piece inside the organization. How can we leverage this for other types of technologies, whether it's Mac devices coming up shortly, looking at Linux solutions, infrastructure, devices. We're getting a lot of questions now about tablets. And I think that we're going to start seeing mobile devices being a question too. So those are all things I'm excited about when we can finally get those in the profile of the N Central platform. Most clients, and even myself as a customer originally, I thought that my patching was fairly good. And then you do the reports and the vulnerability assessments, and you'd really see like, well, we think that this is good, but what would traditionally happen was you'd never catch up. So you'd end up doing some sort of a patch, like let's just say it's the most recent one for the month, and you'd see it hit 80%. Okay, that's decent. And then the next month, that 20% that was remaining is still remaining. You never catch back up to that 20%. So even in an organization that does have a decent offering or a decent program in place for patching, that aspect of getting that retro piece usually gets lagged. It never gets followed up on. And then the third party piece, so you're constantly dealing with whether it's Adobe or some other AutoCAD or whatever the solution might be. Those I think are just generally challenges. What I find now, working as a consultant and working with our clients, they're very excited about the fact that it's not just the Microsoft patching. I think that's the same thing that got hooked me into this. I was so excited about the fact that I finally had a solution offering that allowed me to be more comprehensive. It allows our teams to be more comprehensive. It allows our clients to feel much more comfortable about knowing that it is a holistic solution offering for not just the patching, but in my mind, really catching, that third-party stuff that's just difficult to patch, generally speaking. Keeping your websites up to par and the browsers that needed to be on fact. And then lastly, figuring out how you can manage the version control. I had started getting into real conversations with my infrastructure teams and my help desk teams on how do we start rolling out to get on the latest versions of Microsoft, for example, or what versions we should sit on, or when should we switch versus, okay, well, we're just going to go through and do the switch whenever it happens. Our clients are also saying that. And so it really gives them a better way of managing their environment. We are growing. I think that this solution offering is becoming more predominant for organizations for two reasons. One, organizations are trying to find lower cost solutions to do these fundamental IT service offerings. So they're pushing themselves, whether that's going to be a centralized IT staff or that's going to be a managed service offering or offshoring. In most cases, what we're finding is we can actually show them how by putting these services in place and us doing the managed service offering, they're then getting a 24 by 7 offering versus I only cover it from 8 to 5. Or if I'm lucky enough to have, people around the sun, which most organizations don't, then we provide that additional level of assurance for them. So we're seeing a lot more clients that are coming more from word of mouth and saying, hey, we're interested. We see, this company doing it, and we'd really like you to come in and take a look what we can offer for you as well. I am overly delighted. So, I think that the beauty of this partnership is just how much Enable wants to hear what me as a client has to say and me as a partner has to say and the influence that we're going to have on the roadmap. And I'm super excited about where the organization is going. I got to attend an advisory meeting a couple weeks ago, and it was encouraging to hear how willing they were to look at the product and get our feedback and input as to where we need to go, even when it was harder conversations to have.